Mm-hmm. Come on, open up. There you go. So there's your numbers. So just take each number, subtract the average off of it. And there they are. And then there they are. You add them up. And then you're going to divide by n minus 1, where n is the number of items. So in this case, it's 8. So 8 minus 1 is 7. So you divide that out, you get 4.57. That's your variance. And then the standard deviation is equal to 4.57 square rooted, which is 2.14-ish. Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Let me get a picture of that. Okay. And then, let's see, my problems are, where are they?
You have them.
In 3.4,
Mm-hmm.
problem number 3. Could you work that one through with me?
Yeah, let me go find the.
I had 3, 8, and 9.
Oh, okay. That's all they are?
Yeah.
So can you, okay, go ahead. So just tell me, can you read the problem, or do you want me to look it up? I can go look it up real quick. Hang on.
I can, sure. Can you?
I'll just look it up real quick. It'll just take a few feet.
Right.
Here we go.
Now I don't have to calculate the standard deviation. I don't know how to do that. Well, I saw it in the printout. I just looked really complicated. Yeah, it is multiple steps.
Sorry about that credit card thing. I keep forgetting to change that. I made that.
Oh man, I worked that thing through. I don't know. And I watched your video over and over again. It says if you miss like one number here or you put it in the wrong line, I did that thing like 5 times.
Yeah.
It takes me a long time to do it once, you know.
Guess you know you're right though. Yeah, that was yeah, I didn't do it on purpose for sure. No, the other day I told this buddy of mine we work on this Bronco he bought. That was way earlier in this school year, and so we were doing some work on it. Which chapter are we in? Probably statistics there?
3, 4.
Yeah. And so we done some work on it. One of the things we did was we put new fuel pumps in the thing, and so we've done some other work to it, and then all of a sudden it quits running. And so like everything tests like it's a fuel pump. I'm like, it's brand new, and it's driving me crazy. I'm going through everything, and finally I'm like, I just got to go back, and then that's it. And sure enough, there's a fuel pump again. You're like, it didn't make any sense, but you're doubting yourself because you're like, this can't be right that it's the fuel pump again. But no, that's what it was.
Bad fuel pump?
Yep. So got that changed out yesterday for him. But
you see the new Broncos? Do you see the new ones?
Yeah.
Oh, they're sexy, man.
I guess that I don't know. The thing it annoys me about all this stuff is they're so gung-ho to make everything so like get that giant touchscreen in the middle of it. I'm sorry, when I want to go off-road, I don't need a dadgum giant touchscreen in my Bronco. You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense to me. It just irritates me. And then it's just, more stuff to go wrong, but I don't know. And I'm not, their turbo engines are pretty cool, but the problem with Ford is their turbos and their wastegates are all one piece. And so when the wastegates fail, which they've been having issues with them, you have to change the entire turbo out, which is goofy. And just piss poor design. And I don't know, it just irritates me. I'm like, I mean, I get what they're doing with the small engines, but he's like, man, back in the day, those things were just rugged off-road, let's go. And now they're trying to do all this extra stuff to it. I don't know. So you're saying number 4?
Yeah, can you give me permission to record this?
Number 3.
No, I'm recording it already.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, number 3.
Number 3. Right on. There we go. Cool. Yep. Nice. Okay. So in this case here, so what you're going to do is 15 is one of the answers there, right? So in other words, it's like if you listed these numbers out, but there would be 3 of them. So if a person were doing this, so I get a new page here, you'd have 15, 15, 15, because there's 3 of them. That's what frequency means. And then there'd be 27 times.
Okay.
And so forth and so on and so forth. So the way to do this is to take the sum of the frequencies times each of the values. Okay. So I'll break my, so what I will do, I guess I'll do it in Excel. Why not? Let's do Excel. Let's shrink this.
They go like 3 times 15. Okay.
Yep. Yep. So actually, let's see if I can make this work. We'll share both. Maybe I will. Let me get my keyboard back on.
You can multiply them and make a third column.
Right.
So what you're going to have then is, that is, there we go. Cool. Let's do this. Oh, escape. Let's do that. So I'm going to type in your columns here like this, 15, 20, 25. Okay. So they just count by 5. So if you just highlight those, you can drag it down.
Okay.
There you go. Cool. And then it's just 3, 7, 10, 15, 13, 11, 9, 7. Cool. Oh, I missed one. Oh, 15. Sorry. 15, 13, 11, 9, 7. Cool. Okay. So then what you can do is take the frequencies times the midpoints.
Okay. Yeah, I got that.
And then paste that down. So then you take the sum of those guys equals the sum of those.
So you multiply the top, it's going to multiply every one of those then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You break it down. Yeah.
Because I drug it down. Yeah.
Yep. Gotcha.
So that's the sum, right? Divided by, now here's the fun part. How many numbers were there? Well, it's the sum of the frequencies. So remember, you add them up and divide by how many there are. The sum of the frequencies is how many numbers there are.
Okay.
So 3 plus 7 plus 10 plus whatever, there's that many numbers. So when I did this, what do I get? Well, oops. What are you upset about, Betsy? Oh, I got an extra parentheses. Got it. So the average would be 33.8 on that guy right there. Okay.
I was falling apart on that. Okay.
That makes sense?
Yep.
So, and then to find, so then
divided by 8, right? Divided by the number.
Not by 8. The sum of that column of frequencies. Okay?
Oh, okay.
Because that's how many numbers there are. Let's look at this actually. In fact, you could do that. You can say, well, what is the sum of this column? Okay, there's 75 numbers there total.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yep.
And so it's the sum of this column here, which is the number of them all added together, and then divided by 75. That'd be your average. Okay.
Okay.
So there's several ways to do this. And so if you come back up here in the book and look, you'll see there's a formula for that up here, right? Come back, come back, come back. Oh, bother. There's got to be a faster way to do this without going too far. Oops, I overshot it, I think. Darn it. So I want to show you the formula for here in a second. Yep. So there, right there, that's what we just did. That's our average. That's how we found our average there. And then the standard deviation will be down here. Come on, let's go. Cool. Come on, median. Come on. Okay. Well, maybe it's back at you. Well, where's standard deviation at? Come on, where'd you go?
This is in 3-4. Chapter 3, and we're in 3-4.
Yeah, so I was trying to find the right spot for the. Did I go too far back? Where am I at? 3 point.
Yeah, you're in 3.3, and this is 3.4.
Oh, I didn't go back. I went too far back. There we go. Ah, now we're getting closer.
Okay.
Just gotta get to that box plots. Now go back up. Go back. Go back. Come on, dummy. Okay, so there's, see, this is how you do standard deviation, of course, if they're all, together like that. But here, aha. Yes, here we go. So closer. So there's that's a standard deviation. That's how we found it if we're doing it the long, when we know all the values, okay?
Right.
But down here, it tells us how to do it when it's grouped like this somewhere. Where are you? Why is it not showing me that? I know it's here somewhere. Well, screw it. I'll just tell you what the formula is. It's easy enough to do. I was just going to show you where it was, but here's how you do it. If you have group data, so this right here divided by the sum of the frequencies, this is how you find the mean if you have grouped data, okay? This is for grouped data. And it's exactly the same as the regular data, the regular stuff, except that obviously they didn't have to write out all 75 numbers. They put them in groups and said there's this many of this kind, this many of this one, this many of the next one, okay?
Okay.
And so what you're going to do now to find the variance is going to be equal to, and this is all there is to this, it's the sum of the frequencies times the x's squared minus the average squared divided by the sum of the frequencies minus 1. Okay. Now, this is a pretty straightforward and easy way to do it. But when you're dealing with group data, this is what you want to do. So you've already found this number right here, right? You already found X bar. We know what it was. So what we're going to do is the exact same process over here in Excel. So in the next column over, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say equals. I swear that's in the book somewhere, but I can't see it right now to save my life. So I take the frequencies times the X squared. Okay, and I'm going to do that first part of the equation by itself first. And I'm just going to paste that down. Okay, well, I don't know why that's there. Go away. Got it. Okay, and then so what I'm going to do is the formula says to take equals the sum of those guys. Well, and actually what I'm going to do is first, I'm going to do the sum right here. Equals sum. The sum of these guys. That's, did it do it right? It did. No, it didn't do it right. That's terrible. Try that again. That is this piece right here that we're looking at. Okay.
Okay.
So what I just did was so that's that 9240 whatever bit. Cool. So I'm going to go equals parentheses this guy minus the average squared divide by, and remember there were 75 of them, so I'm going to divide by 74. Just like before, it's n minus 1. You see that?
Yeah, I see. Yeah.
And so that's our variance. And so then our standard deviation, and you could just do this. You could do the standard deviation, but you could just use equal square root of that guy. So 35 is our standard deviation.
Okay.
So standard deviation squared is the variance?
Correct.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
This won't be on the test. The group stuff won't be on the test.
The group stuff won't be on the test. Yeah, I'd still like to understand it. So I mean, it's already been beneficial to us, you know.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
The financial stuff has been like absolutely beneficial. But I fell apart on this homework, man, when it came to doing all this stuff. So okay. Let's see, where are we? Okay, I can do the 5 number summary is just the minimum, the maximum, the first quadrant, whatever that is, and
first
the
quartile.
Third and quartile, and the third quartile, and the median, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, good. So I got that. The IQR, I got that. All right, got a pretty good understanding. I just don't know how to put it together on these multiple tables.
On a box plot one?
What's that?
So let's look at this thing here, right? So let's take a look at this for a second and see what's going to happen here. So we said there's 75 of them, right? So when I look at that, I say to myself, all right, well, I need the 25th percentile, right? So the 25th percentile of 75 is what? Well, I don't know. Let's ask Betsy. 0.25 times 75 is 18 3/4, or we're going to round it up to 19 exactly. So if you come back into the data, wherever it is, I'm going to count. So in the first column, there's 3, and then 3 plus 7, and so far we've got to 10 so far, yes? In the first 2 rows. That makes sense?
Yeah.
So if we were listing these out, we'd have 15, 15, 15, and then 20, 20, 20, 20, 20. There'd be 10 numbers so far. And then I'd put 25, 25, 25, 25, 10 more times, right? So the 19th number in a row is going to be a 25. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so Q1, which again is the 25th percentile, is the 19th term, and the 19th term is the number 25.
25, 75. Okay.
And then while we're at it, let's just find the median, right? Or Q2. Well, what's half of 75? 37 and a half, I think. Yep. So that rounds up to the 38th term. And so if you look in the data over here, why you got 3, 7 is 10, then 10 more is 20, and 15 more puts you at 35, and I'm looking for 38, right? So that puts me into the 35 column, right? So 35 is my median.
Oh, that's your half.
That makes sense? These
Okay,
3
yep.
plus 7 plus and so on and so on. So 35 is my median.
Right.
And then Q3, you could do it the same way I've done it before. You could count in, take 75 minus 19 to get to that term there. Probably just as easy in this data here, just to go ahead and bust it out this way. So 3/4 of it would be, I should be able to do it in my head, 47, I think, when you round it up. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, 57. I don't count too good. 57. So 56 1/4 rounds up, we say, to 57. So the 57th term, 57th term. And the 57th term puts us, so we got 3 is 7 is 10, 20, 35, 48, and 11 puts you at 59. So it's going to be 40 is our quartile, is our third quartile. Yeah. So if you're doing
Okay.
a block plot,
Okay.
you got 25, 30, 35, 40, and so on. So we've got here, and here. There's your blocks. So then
Okay.
the IQR is 15, and 1.5 times 15 should be 22.5. It is. So if you take 22.5 and go down here 22.5, that's where the cutoff line for where the freaks are, right? Well, what is 22?
Okay.
25 minus 22.5 is 2.5. Well, we don't have anything down there any lower than 15. So 15 is clearly not an outlier. So we just attach to it, right?
Right.
There are no outliers on that end. And if you add 22.5 to 40, you get 62.5. We don't have any up there either. So it's going to be over here at 50. Done.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna have to go over this. I'm definitely gonna have to review this one. So,
Yeah.
all right. Well, that's good for that question. You know, and you did a really good job explaining it in class too. I just haven't gone back over those notes, man. And I didn't have them for my homework because that wasn't posted yet. So, and then my other question was, let's see. Oh, that's what you just did. The 20 percentile. Okay. Okay.
That might have to solve all the way through. Just a good example.
Can we just go over number 9 real quick?
Sure. Stupid computer, quit moving. Oh.
And that'll do it. Then I can review all these notes you just gave me.
Mm-hmm. Yep. 25 miles a gallon. You're getting 21.4. And you phone the manufacturer and learn standard deviation is 1.5. So what's the Z-score for the gas mileage for your car? First of all, are you getting above average or below average mileage here?
Below average.
Okay, so you know your Z-score is going to be negative, right?
Right?
So Z is equal to X minus mu over sigma. So we got 21.4. It's supposed to be 25, and the standard deviation was 1.15. Okay. So if you subtract, you're 3.6 miles per gallon less than average. But if you divide that by the 1.15, that means you are -3 standard deviations, which is weird. Okay, that's weird. Now, if you recall in class when I mentioned this, I briefly alluded to this, the idea that within 1 standard deviation of the mean,
Right?
68% of the data. Okay, so that's pretty normal. That's where you'd expect things to be. I'm going to redraw my picture just a minute. Sometimes I do a lousy job of drawing the picture. I try to make them look exactly the same so you can kind of see them. That's actually 68% of the data. Okay. Then if you go out 2 standard deviations, that's 95% of the data. Percent. And if you go out 3 standard deviations, that is 99.7% of all the individuals will lie between those 2 values. Look where you are. You're out here. By definition, if you're not part of the 99.7, you are an oddball. Okay. So your car is significantly worse. Why is that? Maybe it's a lemon. Maybe it has some issue. Maybe whatever. Okay. would I expect, as I'm producing cars, like thousands and thousands and thousands of cars, would I expect there to be a few freaks that come off the line that are bad?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Would it very percentage-wise, very many though?
No,
No.
with that.
No, but am I shocked as a manufacturer when there's a problem? No, I'm not shocked by a problem. The only thing that probably shocks me is that that got out of the assembly line, not got quality checked. Okay?
Right. Okay.
So that's the game. When you're doing those, just be aware that like big manufacturing, they test these things all the time. Now, again, once in a while, something will slide through. The idea that like like Ford's 5.4 engine, that thing has just been nothing but trouble the whole time it's been out. And in the last couple of years of it was okay, I guess, but that's it. And so that was a huge major design flaws. They had some design flaws in the thing. And so, but that was different than saying, let's say you bought some other random car and you're cussing the thing, but you look online, everybody loves it. Well, you probably got a lemon. Okay. Yours is probably some kind of a reject, some kind of a problem, whatever it happens to be. And of course, that's not independent of what you do to your car either, right? So sometimes, if you like you don't take care of the thing very well, of course, it's going to fall apart too. That's not the manufacturer's problem. But a lot of times it could just be a weird situation where, I don't know, whatever reason, your car died early. It shouldn't have. Every other car, or most every other car from that outfit, lasts forever or whatever. But yours is
Right.
weirdo. Mm-hmm.
Okay, got you, man. I got the financial part down, man, but I'm struggling with these statistics. So I'm going to go over this information you gave me. I think that pretty much covers what I need to know today. I appreciate your time. I really do.
Go back over that review because the test is very similar to the review. Very similar.
Okay. I'm going over that thing and over that thing and over that thing, but I'm still struggling with the statistics. But I appreciate your time. Thank you very much again, and I'll see you Saturday.
Okie doke. Sounds good. Take care.
Okay. Bye now. Oh yeah. What about the recording here?
I'll put it up and send you the link.
Okay. Thank you.